Happy Saturday. It's another Saturday we in here. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. We got another good conversation today. Another good one. Because some things have been happening over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of days that have caught my attention, that have gone throughout social media. And I was like, whoa. Well, let me figure out what's going on over here. And come across some information about what's going on or what happened in Selma, Alabama, not too long ago. Saying extremely disrespectful. Well, that's the question I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I also have a conversation for my folk too, because you know how I do. You know, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about, but we got to talk to ourselves. We got to have a conversation too. What's going on, Black Butterflies? How you doing? How you doing? She is Divine Nectar. I like that. That's a good name. She is Divine Nectar. That's a good name. Renee, how you doing? How you doing? What's going on? Y'all come on in here, man. We got to have this conversation. The Somali community out here doing things, and we're gonna analyze. You know, I'm starting off, you know, just asking the questions with my reporter hat, and then, you know, I'm gonna get in and get my opinion on everything. But I want to know what y'all think about this. But also, like I say, this is to bring you into a larger conversation. It's to bring you into a larger conversation because, you know, our scholars, more specifically, our scholar, Dr. Claude Anderson, been put us up on game. We just didn't take the game and use it. Hey, he said, the minister say, tell me I didn't just wake up and get in some madness. Nah. You know that. You know me. You know me. You know I got to flip on this. You already know I got to flip on this. You already know I ain't throwing no logs in the fire. I got to flip on this. Black folk, where y'all at? My best part of Saturday is spending time with my FBAs. I appreciate that. Look, I appreciate that. This is a space where we can come in and we can get our talk in. But, you know, we got to look in the mirror as Black folk. We got to be able to look in the mirror and be able to recognize when we've dropped the ball. And that's one of the things I am getting into today. Once again, we're going to talk about what happened in Selma with a group of Somalis. We are going to talk about that, but that's leading into a larger conversation about Black America and our refusal to take heed to information, our refusal to take heed to warnings, and be able to understand the landscape, understand what's going on. Remember, some of the rhetoric that started a lot of this is the Somalis, when they started getting very vocal, saying that they were not Black. So they told us that they were not Black. So which means that they didn't identify themselves the same as us. They identified themselves as a separate group of people. So their worldview would be different. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not here to have that conversation, whether their worldview is right or wrong. I am just putting out that their worldview is different. It's very different than us. And because their worldview is different from us, their approach to empowering themselves is vastly different from ours. They don't have an interest in doing things that will empower us. They have more of a vested interest in empowering themselves. That's it. So can you be mad at a group of people who see an opportunity and is trying to take that opportunity? Now, of course, we are looking at it sideways because a lot of the opportunities that's being taken or given is afforded because of what we've done, and we are in the crossfire as we dealing with this Selma situation. And so hence the title of this video, Somalis marching on Selma, disrespectful or not. Renee says, I like this. I liken this to a throwback on taking an African-American history class. I appreciate that. My pops will be very proud. My pops will be very, very, very proud. This feel like an African-American history class, because that's what he did for 20 years at FAMU. He taught African-American history. So I appreciate that. You can't handle the truth. What's going on? Much respect to you, Joe, and everybody else in opposition to the warfare of gene deficient army. Hey, man, we taking a look at everything, man. I see a lot that goes on in social media, whether I talk about it or not. You know, that'd be my decision whether I think it's relevant or something that's going to help us or not. But I thought this would be something good that would capture our attention. And while I got your attention, let's go ahead and drop some information on you, right? So, once again, we're definitely dealing with this Somali marching on Selma situation. So I got some videos keyed up so we can get into that, but also getting into what Dr. Claude Anderson told us in the 90s and what he also told us years later. He not only told us about what was going to happen with immigration, he not only told us that, but he gave us plans to empower ourselves as a group. You know, the other day when I went live, we talked about the myth of Black buying power. And one of the things I hit on a lot was the aggregation of wealth, cooperative economics. Black people, we refuse to play the game the way the game is supposed to be played. And then, you know, we're looking at another group who's playing the team game as a team. Now, of course, we do got a problem because we are the collateral damage, but we put ourselves in the position to be collateral damage, and we got to be able to look at that and how the hell we get ourselves out of this position. Once again, we try to align ourselves with people who don't want to align with us, and that's fine. And that's not 100% the Somali group, but enough of the Somalis who have told you that they don't align with us. Those are the ones that you don't look to align yourself with. But that's even with, you have a lot of people who are foundational Black Americans who don't align with the ideology of foundational Black Americans. One of the things is not trying to force your ideology on anybody else, but linking with those who are on the same page with you. And that's the thing we keep forgetting because we're too emotional. It says we can AAA those FBA registered trademarks. Let them go only so far. Don't know what their end game is. And we don't know, but the end game really don't matter if we don't have our stuff together as a group. Their end game really don't matter. And I say that because if we don't get our stuff together, we can't do anything about anybody's end game. And that's my problem is end games are coming and we don't have our stuff together. We're not prepared for other people's end games or other people's outcomes that they have in their plans. You mean the civil rights movement? If you don't build, don't complain when others do. I'm just saying, Nemesis. I'm just saying. First comment to get a star. If you don't build, don't complain when others do. Groups of people are doing what they're supposed to do. We're making it easy for them. We're making it easy for them to do it to us. It don't feel good, do it, Black people. It don't feel good, but how long have our scholars and everybody been warning us about this? Specifically, Dr. Claude Anderson. That's why we're going to look at some of his videos. You don't want to win, best believe others do. If you don't want the big piece of chicken, somebody going to come and take it. Black America, we have to get our stuff together. What's going on? Little young baby thug, what's going on? Too easy even. So, I mean, of course, Somali is not the new Black. Being strategic with my thumbnails. Of course, Somali is not the new Black, right? But I use that in context to what's going on in this situation with the videos in this march on Selma. So we are about to jump straight into that instead of delaying, because we got to utilize our time today, and we got to really look at what's going on in the landscape and everything. So, you know, I'm about to go ahead and start with my commercial. And then after I run my commercial, we're about to jump straight into this. But please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. If you see that hype button, go ahead and hit that hype button. Let people know what's going on over here. Share this with at least all your friends and let everybody know it's going down over here on the Shoulders of Giants. And we over here building, we over here learning, we over here teaching. It's a little finger wagging, but the finger wagging is more at us than anything. The Somalis, enough of the Somalis who don't see themselves as black, they're not our friends. The Latinos, they're not our friends. A lot of these different groups of people, they don't see themselves the same as us. And it's high time we learned that. When we looked at the interview with Frank Zanu with the Daily Wrap-Up crew, when he says, I don't want to be your brother. How many times do they have to tell us that? We keep trying to make people unite with us that don't want to unite with us. Take the route that makes the best sense. Only rock with people that want to rock with you. I'm saying, only rock with people that want to rock with you. So, and I just want to say, I didn't hear ish when Koreans came in, Arabs came in, gentrification, etc. It's the same ish. If you have yours, it's yours and yours alone. You got to get it. You got to get it. You got to go take what's yours for you. This is a team sport. It says, Joseph, come to continent, get out of baby London. Where exactly, Sun 360? Where exactly what you mean? Like where on the continent? And if y'all trying to bring me out, you say y'all trying to get me flued out. You trying to say you trying to get me flued out? I'm just saying, if y'all trying to get me flued out, you know. I hear you, Renee. I hear you, Renee. I am my mother and father. I like that name. That's a good name too. They know. Said they know their fathers. The delineation exposed them out. They are freeloaders, scammers, schemers, reprobate, sabotagers, takers. Stop seeking validations. Hey. Trying to get A's. Sun 360, y'all trying to get me flued out? What's going on, man? Let's do it. But let me go ahead and run my commercial, man. So we can go ahead and get into this content. I appreciate y'all. We're having a little fun today. We learning, but we're gonna have fun at the same time. I mean, I want us to learn to not be so emotional about these situations, to be able to look at these situations from a realistic standpoint and understand, hey, man, if you drop the ball, somebody gonna pick it up. So check this out. So I told y'all I was gonna get my merch shop up and running. So I've got it. So I want to show y'all my merch shop. So this is it. So I got some hats. So I got my own Shoulders of Giants hats available for order. I have shirts. This supposed to be like a canvas, some kind of shirt, jersey shirt. I don't know why they got that design, but it's a jersey shirt. Somebody wanted. Got hoodies, regular shirts, heavy, what they call it, the heavy tee, tees for men's, unisex tees for women, everything. I got a mug. I gotta get this mug too. But this is the merch that I have available. See, I got my mug, I have my hats, and I have my apparel available. And all of that is, the links and stuff are below and connected to the video. So I got my merch shop up and running, been working on that for a minute in the background to get my merch shop up and running. So I got it up and running. So if you want to support the channel, get you some merch, it's all available. Links below and links attached to the video. Yeah. Make sure y'all get y'all some merch. Get you some merch. I got my mug and all my hats and stuff that's on the way. It's on the way. And make sure you all support the Black Biz Talent fundraiser. Our Black Biz Talent fundraiser will help to support Black entrepreneurs within the Black Biz Talent marketplace and help them with like vendor scholarships to be able to enhance their businesses, start their businesses, reach goals, get supplies, all the different things that they would need. Just a way to help entrepreneurs do what they need to do. So if you look at my Do we truly buy black? The thumbnail is, do we truly buy black? The truth about supporting black-owned businesses is the live stream. So if you check out the live stream, the fundraiser is within that, and you could go ahead and click the fundraiser and donate. And it's also attached to my actual interview of Black Biz Tally. And the name of that video, where is it? I always passed it. Here we go. Black Biz Tally is changing Black lives is the name of the video, and the thumbnail is Black Biz Heaven. So the fundraiser is also attached to that video. So make sure you check out those two videos. They will be linked to this video in the description, so you can go ahead and check it out and support the fundraiser and everything that we got going on with Black Biz Tally. All right. So Strong says deport them. So let's go ahead and run this video so we can see what's going on with the march on Selma. And y'all let me know, do you think the march on Selma is disrespectful or not?
What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it?
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity.
Keep hope alive! 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 Keep hope alive!
Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente.
Somebody! 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 Somebody!
Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe.
Oh, really? Hey, man. Look, when I see that, that makes me think about, you know, when Dr. Claude Anderson really set the foundation of a lot of this, and saying why you need to be specific in who you're fighting for and what you're fighting for. Because when we laid the groundwork to fight for civil rights, you know, one of the questions he asked, well, who the hell is civil? Who is civil? Because civil doesn't mean specifically a group of people. So out of that, you know, come where we are now with the foundational Black American, with the ADOS, things like that, to be able to fight for things specifically for those who are descendants of American slaves, Black people who are descendants of American slaves, right? And so here we are today with, not, I guess you could say, it's not the Black Lives Matter, like people, like some of the wordage, the verbiage people been using is, it went from Black Lives Matter to All Lives Matter. Dr. Anderson warned us that when they came, they was coming for theirs. And even with the remixing of this, because certain things I feel don't need to be touched. And I will say that Bloody Sunday is one of those things that don't need to be touched. Because they can do their own thing. They don't have to try to recreate that. Trying to recreate the Bloody Sunday, y'all not going through the same thing. You're not going through the same thing, because if a lot of those allegations are true, well, first of all, you all are getting government assistance, government handouts, government stuff. Like, Like you're fighting to keep getting the handouts for the government, while black people were fighting to be recognized as human beings. It's two totally different things. It's two totally different things. And to try to remix that, you know, it does have a lot of black people looking at them sideways. Like, well, damn. We can't have nothing for ourselves though, huh? Like, what's the purpose of trying to recreate this? But remember, they have a purpose for themselves. They have a purpose for themselves, right? Groups of people are supposed to look out for themselves. I've seen a lot of videos, and I'm not going to say that those videos are true, but I've seen videos online, especially when I was looking through what they were insinuating a Somali takeover of Minnesota. I mean, shoot, Hispanics that took over different states and stuff around here. I mean, that's what groups of people do. Black Americans, we're the only ones that don't understand the group dynamics. We're the only ones who don't operate as that cohesive unit to make sure we go get ours and or protect ours. Because when they said we not black, and we like, nah, y'all need to be black. Nah, they said they not black. All these other groups of people, whether they're from the continent or not, but all the other groups of immigrants, like Dr. Claude Anderson told us, they're not coming here to be our friends. But at the same time, hell, Black Americans, we haven't learned to be our friends. Racial politics, group politics, ethnic politics, all these different things, group dynamics, they matter. We have to learn it. We have to understand it. We have to stop being so emotional about things. We have this emotional connection to people. Nah, that's not how it goes. They don't see us the same. Am I saying that they don't see us the same across the board 100%? No, but what I am saying is they are out to get theirs. Let's look at it again. Let's look at it again. They're out to get theirs. All these immigrant groups are out to get theirs. So Black America, when we gonna get our stuff together?
What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now!
Hey, they want the freedom to be able to get theirs now. They want the freedom to be able to get theirs now.
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. That's right.
You heard what he said. The movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. That's what the child of God put there. There it is. Because them are stuck in then, and them don't understand now. Because when it was just two racial groups, we understood clearly who our enemy was, because there was a clear difference in the history, the treatment, the skin tone, the melanin deficiency, all those different things. Now you got groups who are brown, and you got groups who are yellow, and all these other different groups, and who also supposedly white supremacy is supposed to be our common enemy. Cause see, we fell for the bull. Black America, we fell for the bull. We fell for people telling us that white supremacy was the common enemy. If white supremacy was such an enemy to these other groups, then why did they acquiesce and then go toward white acceptance? Why did they assimilate into white culture so easily, so readily? Asians talk about how they did it. Hispanics talk about how they did it. Arabs talk about how they did it. All these other different groups of people who's supposed to be the non-white, who white supremacy is supposed to be the enemy of them. The first chance they got to assimilate into whiteness, the first chance they got to get close to whiteness, they took it and they ran with it. And now they come back years later, oh, we were wrong. We know, and y'all know, But guess what? You still did it, and you still doing it, you still benefiting from it. So black people, I'm just saying, we better wake up.
This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity.
Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
Taking everything.
Keep hope alive! Keep hope.
From my understanding, I haven't verified it, but from my understanding, Jesse Jackson Jr. was a part of this as well.
Hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
And the STL, CI, all these other black organizations.
Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente.
Somali! Somali! Somali!
I guess that Jesse Jackson Jr. there. Black folk, how y'all feel about this? They got our songs, everything. How y'all feel about that, black folk? How y'all feel about that? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. How y'all feel about that? But once again, like Dr. Claude Anderson told us, these are the outcomes you get when you fight for civil rights rather than the specific rights for you and your people. And then you continue to fight for everybody. Because we continue to fight for everybody instead of fighting specifically for black folk. And you can see how many black folk out there. See how many black folk out there who's we have to be on the right side of history. We have to fight for everybody. Ain't nobody fighting for us. You don't fight for people who are not fighting for you. So this is an article from the Sumo Times. More than 6 decades after one of the most defining moments of the American civil rights movement. See, that word, civil rights. Somali American Minnesotians joined thousands of others in Selma to commemorate the anniversary of Bloody Sunday on the historic Edmund Pettus Bridge. Well, was they gonna tell us that they was doing it? Well, I mean, and to be fair, if Black Americans were to do something similar to that was significant in Somalian culture, we already know how that would go. But what, you know, hey, Black people, if we haven't learned how to protect anything though. And because we can't protect it, it's vulnerable for everybody to take it and remix it like that, right? Nemesis says, in politics, as for Somali, they are using what's available. If it was trademarked and instilled as a purely FBA thing and not a human thing, then it would be, then it wouldn't be used as it was. That's what I'm saying. You hit the nail on the head. That's what I'm saying. Everything is up for grabs because we didn't define anything specifically for ourselves. For many in the Somali community who traveled more than 1,000 miles from Minnesota, the journey was more than a trip. It was a powerful act of solidarity and remembrance. Somali leaders, community members, youth, and families gathered to walk the same bridge where civil rights activists were brutally attacked in 1965 while demanding the right to vote. And of course, once again, what they are simulating or what they think they're marching for pales in comparison to what those Black people, to what our ancestors were actually fighting for. But still, we didn't understand racial politics, and we still don't understand it today. That's how we get to this point to where this is happening specifically. This was one of the most powerful experiences I've had, said Hodan Hassan, a former Minnesota state representative and community leader. Standing on that bridge reminds us of the courage it took to demand justice and why the fight must continue. right, to get government resources while we were fighting for humanity. But, you know how that go. You know how that go. That's something we have to learn across the board. These people have no originality. It doesn't have to a copyright to be yours. Yeah, but it helps. And that's the thing too. We need to learn how to understand how people work, how the game work, how business work. You don't have to have it, but it helps. Right. But once again, that's why I always say, one of the things the greatest lessons we should learn from history is, if you build it, you must protect it. Black people have not learned that. If you build it, you must protect it. Think about all of the other aspects of Black culture, Black cultural expressions that are taken by other groups of people and monetized by all these other groups of people. Think about it. When are we going to learn? And we shouldn't have to copyright it. I agree with you, Tori. We shouldn't have to copyright it, but the game is dirty and the water bin had pee in it. The Somalis are anti-FBA. I told you that Jesse Jackson Jr. was a crook, just like his crooked daddy. Anyone who anti-FBA would gain favor with MAGA. Jesse Jackson Jr. is a convicted felon. Hey, if it's named Jesse, we don't trust him, So this year's commemoration of Selma came after months of immigration enforcement operations by U.S. Immigration and Customs enforcement targeting Minnesotians, including members of the Somali American community. Against that backdrop, the presence of Somali American leaders and community members at the event underscored the enduring connection between the past and present struggles of civil rights. Bullshit. Because the things that our ancestors were fighting for in the 1960s were not the same. We were not illegal immigrants coming over here. We are the descendants of those who were kidnapped and brought over here and forced to be here and create something for ourselves here. And once we created it, everybody wanted to take it. But we were fighting for our humanity. They are fighting to be in this land illegally. That's not the same. Whoever wrote this article, you tripping. That's not the same. And not only are they fighting to be here illegally, they're fighting for resources that are supposed to be for American people. If they are here illegal, then what do you have no rights to fight for? But even the ones who are here legally are still getting more government assistance than our ancestors could have ever thought about getting. So, okay. Even 61 years later, participants reflected on how many of the same issues remain unsolved. Bullshit. The right to vote, the right to belong, and the right to live with dignity. Bullshit. No American citizen is denied. All American citizens have the right to vote. No American citizens are being told that they don't belong. I mean, of course, racism, but you chose to come into racism, though. You chose to come to America. Crackers are gonna tell you to go back to your country. But you came to America. You're supposed to know that when you got here. But remember, those are the same people that you aligned with. Those are the same people that you assimilated with. Yeah, we know they're not our people, but I disagree with if you saying that we know these things, because in my opinion, if we knew these things, we would move different. We think we know these things. I think, and there's the ones who do know. I'm not gonna act like, and don't none of us know, Tor, but I would say there's a minority of us who know. But even the minority of us who know still ain't enough to make nothing happen. The most of us most of us are deaf, dumb, and blind walking around here. Don't know what's going on, in my opinion. Hassan also expressed gratitude to the organizations that helped make the journey possible, including Rainbow Push Coalition, Jesse Jackson, the Somali American Coalition, COPAL, 80 Leads, and the Immigrant Defense Network, along with many other groups that work together to bring communities together in solidarity and purpose. But the Black community ain't progressing as a whole. The long bus ride from Minnesota to Alabama, stretching across more than 1,000 miles, was not easy, yet traveling together strengthened the sense of community among those making the journey. They were trying to make it seem like a bus ride was just so treacherous. Traveling by bus with the community makes the journey meaningful and memorable, Hassan noted, even if the ride itself can be a bit brutal. Yeah, because you know how brutal it is riding in a bus. The commemoration served as a reminder that the legacy of Selma is not only history, it is a living call to action. As communities across the country continue to advocate for justice and equality, the spirit of those who marched in 1965 remains a guiding force. But my thing is, I think one of the most disrespectful parts about this, though, that the Somalis don't get is, well, when you come in and you say we not Black, and you come in and you operate as a total different group from Black Americans, we're not the same. We don't do you. We have no type of connection at all. And then you just pop out of nowhere saying, hey, we want to commemorate Black American history. Well, you just told Black people you weren't Black. Make your mind up. The thing that started off pretty much started all this between Black and Somalis is they like, we not Black. We're not you all. We're different from you all. We're not Black Americans. We're not Black. But yet now here we are trying to commemorate Black American history. Well, that's the spit in the face. So you're not Black, but Black history and Black culture can be used to further your cause for yourselves. Black people, what are we learning from this? What are we learning from this, Black people? Because remember, Dr. Claude Anderson told us in the 90s, especially if you're older than me, I'm 42. So if you're older than me, what were you doing in 1996? And just think about the elders and the people that we had in position in 1996 when Dr. Claude Anderson was first dropping this knowledge on us and the information wasn't taken seriously. Imagine where we would be if we would have took that information seriously. The Somalis would, like this wouldn't even be happening. And for the Somali American Minnesotans who made the journey south, the message was clear. The struggle continues, but no one stands alone. Moving forward together across generations, communities, and thousands of miles remain the most powerful way to honor Selma's legacy. You're not honoring Selma like that. Because how are you going to honor Selma and exclude the people? Exclude the people who made Selma happen. Exclude the ancestors of the people who made Selma happen. Where were the Alabamians? Where were all the other people that were excluded? How are you honoring Selma and the people who made Selma is excluded? Say, okay, system. So here you are with your Somalis that take your work as a gift, and employers can keep their wages. Good luck with that. Hey, so I mean, hey, all right, so hey, we not the way we moving. We not gonna get our 18 billion. We ain't gonna get no type of reparations the way we moving. We can't think about it. Sunset. Think about it. We can't even protect our culture. We can't even protect our history. We ain't gonna get no 18 billion the way we operating. See, little young baby thug, see, you was graduating from high school in 96. The elders around that time should have been taking heed to that message and making sure that you coming out of high school in 96 had some kind of platform to build upon. By the time I graduated high school in 2002, we should have had some kind of motion going on. I think I heard Dr. Anderson once on TV. Well, you're about to hear Dr. Anderson today. We do not let these people co-opt Selma in 1965. In time, they'll try to claim they spearheaded civil rights in the 21st century, just as the Latinos are trying to claim they did in the 1960s. I'm just saying that's what happens when you don't have control of your own narratives. We got to get control of our own narratives. So let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing this. And let's go ahead and get into this Dr. Claude Anderson. Y'all, please, if you have not already, if you enjoyed this information, you enjoyed this conversation, you enjoy what's going on this channel, please hit that like button, please comment, please subscribe, please share. You see that hype button? Hit that hype button. That allows more and more and more people to see this information, more people to get this information, to grow with this information, to share this information with others. And I appreciate all of you who are contributing now, who are helping to push this information further. Hands that receive without gratitude will steal without guilt. Wow. There you go. There you go. So let's let, like he says, like the title of this is Racism Controls Immigration. So let's go.
That's racism. You don't have enough resources to be able to compete. So I try to have enough understanding so if I get big enough, like Sam, so I'm gonna write these books and tell black folks what's going on. So you understand the issues. Then out of that same time, we move to the next issue. I told you immigration is the next thing. The last thing and that fourth thing will be automation. But immigration was the third thing. When these immigrants come into the country, it's a black. That's time. Here we had during the World War II. We had POWs, prisoners of war. I'm a small kid. Every day I had to walk downtown to help, to earn a little money, pennies, to help the family sometimes. And as you walk by, and I walk by the prison camp right there on Liberty and 5th Street. They had all these German prisoners in there. As we walked by, they would give us a finger and drop their pants and moon us, and show us their butts, and make fun of us, and try to spit on us. These are German POW prisoner of war. At the same time, all our black soldiers oversized fighting in Germany, fighting Germans. And these Germans were out there playing ball, volleyball, tennis, and behind a fence. When I would go downtown to the movies, the whites, and look at the whites, they had the best theater. Guess who was going in? All the prisoners of war, like Germans going to the prison of war. They sat in the best restaurants and the best theaters, ate the best food.
Struggling to create unique sounds that stand out from every other producer
I
using
hope
the
you
same
listen.
presets? Imagine if you
Hope you're listening.
Why? Because I found out later on because of the immigration policy in this country. Immigration policy, there's a ranking order in this country on how people will be accepted. They call it the American dream. And I said, well, what black folk know what the American dream is? They got all these damn college degrees. And I asked them, you know what the American dream is? No, I don't know. It's set up in the national policy in 1790, 1 year after the ratification of the Constitution. And the Constitution was ratified in 1789. And next year, the first thing that Congress did was enact what they call the first nationalization and immigration law, which set up a racial order, a ranking order of acceptance into the country, of who can come in and who cannot come in. And now you come in, it's based on skin color, going white, yellow, brown, black. Just go down and got dark. And black were the only people not permitted to come in. And the American dream, now what was the American dream? They advertised all around the world for whites to come to America, or anybody that ranking order could come to America. Hispanics, the next down in the browns, or the yellows, the Asians, they could come to the country. They could get free resources, but the bottom blacks, you couldn't get it because of an economic issue.
There it is. They can come in, they can get resources, but we can't. And then they come in and be like, you lazy Americans don't have anything, you don't do anything, without knowing the history, without understanding the context, but knowing that they got resources. They know they got resources, but then tell us, you guys are lazy and all these things. And not all of them, but Enough of them. You're right. Blacks have been replaced, but see, that's the thing. That's what Dr. Claude Anderson was telling us, that they are allowing. They're going to bring these immigrants in to replace us, and especially now the Democrats, the left. Shout out to the 92%. Right? They are going to be. Those immigrants are going to be the new voting bloc that they are appealing to. But that doesn't mean that Black America have to lose out on the political process if we aggregate ourselves, aggregate our power, aggregate our resource, aggregate our votes, aggregate our ideas, aggregate our resources, things like that. There you go, Nemesis. And that's the thing. And that's the thing, that's our problem, is we don't care about us. Black people want everybody to care about us more than we care about us. That's why we in this situation. That's why our Selma can be hijacked. That's why everything we produce can be hijacked. And history can be rewritten, and we can be written out of history, because we care more about everybody else than we care about ourselves.
And every white that came to the country was entitled to all the benefits of the society based on their rank and order. It started first with land. That's why Thomas Jefferson, so-called one of the earlier fathers of the country, he got over 100,000 acres of free land. They turned around and took the few land from us down in South Carolina. But Thomas Jefferson got over 100,000 acres of free land.
Yep.
George Washington got over 100,000 acres of free land. Patrick Henry says, give me liberty, give me death, got over 65,000 acres of free land. Every white person came to the country under the so-called American dream, got automatically came into the country and get what's called homesteading rights. Get 650 free acres of land and get another 150 acres of free land for every slave he owned. And black folk couldn't get in it, couldn't get 40 acres of mule. You're playing against a stacked deck. And if you don't understand, you don't have an understanding of what's going on. You own and control nothing.
Right.
They started about 20 railroads across the country, gave each one of them 6 miles of free land on each side of the damn railroad across America. That they turned around, and the railroads turned around and sold that land for $40 an acre. Later on, got rich.
You're right, Kaya.
And all together, during the American dream,
ain't talking about
immigrants coming to the country got over 1 billion with a B acres of free land. And you all look at TV and you see them talking about the ranchers out west and the big large farms out west, and you always, they got all these acres. They didn't pay for it, they was given to them.
Listen to people.
And it's been passed on from one generation to the next, when about a few blacks were struggling trying to get land. You don't have any land.
Right.
To deal with.
Right.
To grow, to build ranches and farms. And that land that was given, the 1 billion acres of free land that was given to whites free under what they call the American dream, has been passed on for each succeeding generation of whites. And every 20 years, it doubles and triples in value. And that's why right now, out of about almost $130 trillion worth of GDP, product of wealth in this country, you own 1/2 of 1% of wealth in the nation.
You're right.
That's why you came out of slavery. You had 1/2 of 1%, and 150 years later, you still have 1/2 of 1%. Where the average white person has 3,500 times more wealth than you. How are you going to compete if you don't know how to play the game, get some understanding what the issues are?
Like he just said, how are you going to compete if you don't know how to play the game and don't understand what the issues are? I don't know how many different ways I can say it. I don't know how many different ways he can say it. I don't know how many different ways it's been said, but it's not registering with us. That's why my analogy is we're at the chessboard with Uno cards in our hands turned backwards and wondering why we're losing the game. We're not even playing the same game, and we're not even playing the same game correctly. The game we're playing, we're not even playing it correct. But the game we're playing is not even the game that's supposed to be played. Right. It's all been planned. But Dr. Anderson has been warning us since the 90s. And that's the thing. We have to understand, our scholars have been telling us for the longest that we're at war. We were just taking it lightly. Well, here we are. The stuff is happening in real time in our face. Social media is helping to expose a lot of this stuff real time that's happening in our face. And now we're more in the reaction mode now. We're reacting to what's going on. We had time to be proactive. Dr. Anderson told us by 2013 it was going to be too late. The immigration problem was going to be too great. The Hispanic population was going to pass us by 2013. Well, the Hispanics have passed us in population. The Asians have passed us in wealth. The whites have always had a wealth and population advantage on us. So what does that mean for us? What does that leave us? The Asians are not more than us in population, but the wealth that they accumulate for themselves, and they operate as a group. I'm just saying. Black folk, racism is a team sport. Whether you want to operate in it or not, it's a team sport. And if you either win as a team or you're gonna lose. Said blacks are not a group. There's no Black America. I've been saying that. Yeah, we got to get our stuff together. If Selma was trademarked, it's protected. So the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments, they're trying to weaken them. I said trying. Isn't this a reconstruction? We protect it and reconstruction. Word about Somali, that's low level. What you need to check out is the H-1B visa, the L-1 visa, the fast track Indians to be the new middle class, or the EB-1, the EB-2, and the EB-3, because they are going to replace thee. All right. Plenty of people have their way in. TN visa for Mexicans, E3 visa for white Aussies, H-1B1 visa for Singapore. Hey man, they pouring in. They're pouring in. While black folk, we out here doing crazy stuff. So let's get back to Dr. Anderson.
I think got anything to do with social integration. He said, are we going to be a competitive people or are we going to perish? You got to own and control resources. And so what I'm going to tell you about today, you got to learn how to play this game and learn how to play it. Time is almost run out. The door is pretty well closed now. We are now the official underclass in America.
Think your man's faithful?
Yeah, why?
Ever check if he's still on dating apps?
What? Is that even possible?
I predict.
So when he says we are now the underclass in America, I hope it stings. I hope it makes your face cringe. I hope you don't like it. Don't really care if you don't like it, but I hope you don't. I hope it makes you sting. But at the end of the day, is that enough to get some fire up under our ass? No, it ain't. It ain't. Because all we gonna say, we ain't no motherfucking underclass. We ain't no goddamn underclass. We can do this. We can get jobs. We can go to school. We can start businesses. We can do all this stuff here. Right? We gonna say that. We're not gonna listen. We're gonna argue. We're gonna go back to same partying and bullshit. Not understanding what we really stack up on this global stage. But you know, I'm gonna let him keep cooking because he cooking.
Way back in 1970, when I wrote the affirmative action plan, that come year 2000, the blacks going to be replaced by Hispanics. Hispanics met in 1974. I didn't Kansas City drew up what they call a manifesto, which says by the year 2000 they will replace and supplant black folk in America. They will totally shut you down by the year 2000. They said, why are you out there demanding, crying and moaning about we shall overcome someday? They're gonna say, we're gonna demand today to get what we want. By flooding into the country.
I disagree with America's the post-racial.
They're gonna demand, they can say, we're gonna overwhelm while you're trying to overcome. And that's why in the year 2000 now, where we used to be second-class citizens, they made us third-class citizens.
Yeah.
And so out in California now, you are third-class citizen. You know, you were second-class citizens for all those years. It's gone. Now the Asian Arabs in the next 10 to 20 years, 10 to 12 years,
Gregory,
they're gonna kick you out of being number 3. You're gonna become number 4.
That's where we are now. That's where we are now.
And they're gonna push you back to number 4. Now, if you think you didn't get anything from being number 2 for 500 years to enslaving Jim Crow segregation, use your creative imagination to figure out what you're gonna get when you become number 4. I can tell you, but I'm not gonna tell you a mixed copy. That's what's gonna happen to you. They're getting ready to eradicate you off the face of the earth. There are groups now around the world talking about getting rid of the non-producers, what they call the eaters.
Black folk.
They eat and don't produce anything.
Black folk.
I can name a lot of organizations. And that's all this turmoil you see now. And so what they said, so immigration then was never designed to benefit Black folk. Never designed. It was designed to displace you and replace you. And in 1970, what they did, they came up with a new concept, said not only will we displace them, but now let's take the focus off of Black folk and put it on a public policy called denying neglect and political correctness. When you hear people talking about political correctness, understand what they're saying to you. What they're saying to you that you're now an obsolete labor class. You've been abandoned by your own leadership. Nobody gonna speak up for Black folk in this country unless one
non-obsolete labor class. And we remain a non-obsolete labor class. We were brought in as a non-obsolete labor class, and we remain that in our minds as a non-obsolete labor class and have a nerve to be mad at the Somalis. We could feel the disrespect, and I'm not saying don't feel the disrespect, but it's not like we ain't left the door open for other people to be able to disrespect us. Everybody knows, everybody in the world knows that you can disrespect Black Americans because we ain't gonna do nothing about it, and the door is wide open. Black Americans are gonna keep doing the same thing they've been doing that haven't been getting them nowhere, because they are stuck in respectability politics. Not real liberation politics, but respectability politics. Maybe it's true that the Democrats are helping to push us aside, and we've been loyal. Well, look at, all we got to do is look at what real tangible outcomes that have or haven't come from the Democrats. Have we got more tangible outcomes than not? And we can see other groups are being able to benefit more from the political process than we are. I attended Valdosta State. Sounds like I should have been spending more time in Tallahassee Fellowship in that FAMU's campus instead of the moon. Hey. I mean, I understand how that moon attracted to you, but yes, there are, like, FAMU has produced some brilliant things, and I will say being on that campus did help to sharpen my mind and learn a lot of things, especially a lot of scholars and a lot of people on that campus. But I mean, I understand why the moon did attract you. But you going to the moon on Wednesday night, that means you a thug. Well, let me restate that. You're not a thug. That ain't, I was looking at your name, I ain't mean to say that. You're not a thug. I mean, that means you can fight. That's what I mean. You going to the moon on Wednesday nights mean you can fight. And you a real one. Because I went to the moon on Wednesday night one time and I never went back. So you definitely got hands, you definitely can fight, and you definitely a real one going to the moon on a Wednesday night. Little young baby thug, yeah, because I went to the moon on Wednesday one night and that was it. And I'm from here in Tallahassee. But yes, we had a lot of real scholars on FAMU's campus. Stop saying we. You are an individual person. Everyone has to compete for success and wealth on an individual case-by-case basis. Tribalism is the reason Africa never developed. Hey, well, if you think we have to do it on the individual case-by-case basis, that's why we're in the situation we're in. We're sitting here talking about a team sport. We're sitting here talking about a team sport, and you're talking about everybody have to compete on a case-by-case basis while everybody else is competing as a group. All the groups are competing as groups. You hear what the man is saying. We are fourth class people in America because we operate on the individualistic. That is exactly what the white folk want us to think. They want us to operate on the individualistic basis while everybody operates as a group. Everybody understands group dynamics and group politics. And if you disagree, you disagree. This may not be the place for you. But what I'm saying is, over here, if you don't get the fact that you have to operate as a group, You have to operate as a group. How is operating as individuals helping Black America as a whole? Please help me understand how operating as individuals is helping to push forth Black America. Affirmative action promotes backwards behavior. White people more so benefited off of affirmative action. Not ending the poverty or suffering. It is preserves and codifies the poverty and second-class citizenships. That's what DEI and affirmative action does. Well, so that means it does that for white women because white women were the greatest benefactors of DEI and affirmative action. So are you saying that those things codified poverty and second-class citizenship and all the things for white women because white women were the greatest benefactors of DEI and affirmative action? Correct me if I'm wrong. It said you were born by yourself. Stop trying to be smart and end up. Dog eat dog. Group economics is about the only way we can get out of this hole. I see how we rallies around Mr. Tenderism. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm telling you, that's absolutely the worst advice to give. I don't understand, fam. We all we got. But let's let Dr. Anderson keep cooking about group economics and why not working as a group will have you messed up.
We got one fool doing it running around the country and around the world. That's Claude Anderson. He's the only one that ain't got no damn better sense to keep fighting for Black folk. Nobody's gonna say, you're gonna hear one Black in the public office, a civil rights order, tell us we're gonna do for Black folk. They're gonna use camouflaging terms to use. They're gonna use these very broad, ambiguous terms that you haven't got enough sense to figure out what it means. They're gonna use these broad terms like minorities and poor folk and people of color and acting. And what does that mean? You go and say, well, you got Black folks screaming, I'm a minority. So what is a minority? Minority means you a loser.
So because white women have student loan debt, that means they didn't benefit from affirmative action or DEI. That's what you're saying? Because they have student loan debt, which is something that they accumulated by themselves on their own. And you mean to tell me white women had the privilege to accumulate student loan debt? So how does that privilege? I'm not understanding how that is lined up with affirmative action and DEI, because they were the greatest benefactors.
You live in a society that says the majority will win and rule and the minority will lose and suffer.
There you go.
Why would you volunteer to run around saying calling yourself a minority? Huh?
Right.
Why would you do it?
And operate like
because minority means that you haven't got a chance. And you ask, what is a minority? Nobody knows. If you want to be honest about it, the white male is a minority.
He is.
A peg-leg, one-eyed man is a minority. A humpback lesbian with a hernia is a triple minority.
Now, and think about what he just said. Technically, the white men are a minority because white women are the majority when it comes to, there are more white women than white men. But the thing is, everybody's a minority who's not a straight white male. But even as a numerical minority, white men don't label themselves as a minority. Think about that. As a numerical minority, white men do not think about themselves as a minority or label themselves as a minority. Now, of course, they never had, because they've always been in the position of power. But we don't have to label ourselves as a minority or think like minorities or operate like minorities either, even though I understand why we do, because it's been drilled into our heads. But we can reprogram ourselves. We don't have to keep repeating the narratives that have us stuck where we are. Says, y'all don't play Somali's Kush, you made fun, now look at you marching like Yasir. Yahweh will not be mocked, praise Yahweh, hallelujah. Minnesota daycare center people got away with millions and got minimal prison time and a laughable small fine. Hey, there you go. Super Umbrella, what's going on? What's going on? Hey man, you know. Let's keep it going. Please hit that like button. If you're gonna troll, please hit that like button too.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
So nobody knows what it is. They tell you, well, you got to come on the minority program. Yes, I want to get in your minority program. Why? And I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes, why you should be rejected. Don't let them put you in these broader categories and call them minorities. And when they start talking about the American dream, you question, say, now, when does Black folk get a chance to enjoy the American dream? Because you see, here's what the American dream was. The American dream was at that time in history, it was 90% black labor and 10% Indian land. That was the American dream. And later on, it morphed in what you call now, they come into America, the same thing, but no longer free land. It means coming to America and getting free unearned benefits. That's why all these groups come into the country. They're not rushing across the Mexican border to get along with you and to love you.
Right, right.
They're coming here to compete with you.
Right.
For resources, ownership.
Right.
And rights.
Right.
And see, they take over these communities. They came into Florida for that time, and they came into Florida when I wrote the affirmative action plan in 1970 in the state of Florida. See, Cubans began to pour into the state. First, they took over Overtown, ran blacks out of Overtown and took it over. Then they went after Liberty City. Then they went after Coconut Grove. And now Cubans pretty well dominates almost all of Florida. That's why you get people like Ted Cruz and Mario, all talking about Florida Cubans. They only dominate.
Yep.
We're black folk. Just out playing with balls.
Hey, look, I just came back from Miami not too long ago, like 3 weeks ago. I just came back from Miami. When I tell you, it was rare to see black people. Like the only time I saw a good group, a good number of black people was not when I was leaving our office down in Miami. I was leaving that, and Overtown is the backyard of the office, and then driving through Overtown, that's the only time I've seen a lot of people. But those Hispanics have taken over Miami. The last time I was in Miami in the early 2000s, a whole bunch of black people. Now it is totally changed. Oh yeah, and Homer Simpson. Remember, when we're talking about affirmative action and DEI, I'm talking specifically about white women. Because you're saying, look at female dominant fields of industries, education, healthcare, all government subsidized industries that fail no matter how much their funding have. Affirmative action ruined them. Cool, but did it ruin it for white women though? What about white women? What was the outcome for white women? Because that's specifically what I'm talking about when we're talking about affirmative action and DEI. White women were the greatest benefactors. So what was the total outcome? We're having a conversation. What was the total? No, it ain't no disrespect, but what was the total outcome for white women? We're just having a conversation. I feel you. Hey, I ain't got no beef with you, nothing like that. We're just having a conversation because we cool. But what was the total outcome for white women though? Because that's the thing when we're talking about with the things with DEI and affirmative action. You know what I'm saying? Like white women really was the ones who got that. You know what I'm saying? And let's make sure everybody's respectful in the comments as well. Me and Omar, we cool. We just debating a bit. So it's all good, but nobody be disrespectful to nobody. So I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect anyone. I'm sorry if I come off that way. I want to give the very best. Nah, you ain't. Nah, life is precious. I didn't think you came off disrespectful. You cool. You cool. So let's keep going. Look, Homer Simpson and Life is Precious and everybody, y'all cool. We all cool. We don't have to. And remember, we're not here to agree on everything. That's how we grow. We need to push each other mentally. Iron sharpens iron. As long as we do it respectfully, and as long as we stay respectful with it, we cool. But we are here to push each other mentally, and we need to disagree sometimes. We need to make sure that we are, like we said, we're doing a friendly sparring to make sure we on point. So it's all good. It's all good as long as it's not disrespectful and all that stuff. It's all good. What's going on, Kush? What's going on? Those Mexicans and Somalis were very disrespectful for trying to appropriate a Black American memorial celebration. They missed an opportunity for silent solidarity. Instead, they're out there chanting. Hey, I'm just saying. But yes, they did. And it is another log on the fire of the diaspora wars. But Black people, we got to admit we left the door open, and we continue to leave the door open for people to do things like that to us. So that's why we're looking at these Dr. Claude Anderson videos, so we can start to get our stuff together.
They don't understand what's going on. They didn't get the understanding what's going on. And so immigrants now learn this in Americans' policies. Political correctness says this. When Nixon got the memo from Daniel Moynihan in 1968, it says, the way you shut down the Black civil rights movement in this country and shut down the Black power movement in this country is you take the focus off of Black folk and put it on minority women and immigrants.
Hey.
And then the political correctness say then make blackness, every form of blackness disappear. Make every form of blackness. Don't include blackness in anything. That's called being politically correct. That's why God knows why would blacks sit there and listen to a campaign for 2 years for the President of the United States and no one has ever mentioned one time about Black folk. Every day on TV, nobody's talking about you. Why would you be worried about vote and nobody's talking about you? You don't demand anything, they're not gonna give you anything. Nobody promised you anything. They always talk about what they're gonna do for Hispanics, Asians, Jews, Arabs, anybody coming to America. Not one is ever gonna say anything about Black folk. And I'm sick and tired and disappointed. Listen, Black folks sit on their hunches and do nothing. Yeah. I got children and grandchildren. Get off your butts and do something. Hit the media, start raising holy cans. We ain't going for it anymore. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yeah.
There you go. So, Omar Simpson, I agree with what you are saying. Now, my caveat is the brand of affirmative action, the brand of government assistance and all that stuff that is given to us is toxic. Government is the toxic stuff that hold us back. But the brand of affirmative action, the brand of government help that is given to everybody else seems to help other groups elevate themselves. The brand of government help that is given to Black people, that is sold to Black people, that is marketed to Black people, somehow keeps us dependent. But the government aid and affirmative action and DEI that's given to every other group seems to empower them. That's my thing with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't disagree with what you're saying. The way it is given to Black people, the way it's marketed to Black people, the way Black people use all these things, it holds us back. It makes us totally dependent upon the system. But somehow when other people get government assistance, they get empowered. I don't know. So can't network, can't teach, can't build, can't hustle, shake up, no move. And the ones here are beyond total obliterated maximum confusion. Us in the South have a superior understanding of racism, white supremacy. Battle Genja in the building, people. Windstorm says, there are times when getting at the truth requires vigorous debate. That does not mean we hate or disrespect one another. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Truth hurts says facts. Life is precious. 864 Apaches just unleashed hell in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. As we're leaving the Democrat plantation, we must consider leaving the American plantation as we know it. I'm neither for nor against people wanting to leave America. My overall thing though is with leaving America is reminding ourselves and reminding people that racism, white supremacy is a global phenomenon. So there's no way that we can go to escape racism, white supremacy. If we're not going to defeat it on a global scale, then we ain't talking about nothing at all. Now, if people want to leave America, leave America. I'm not against you leaving America, and I'm not against you staying. But just remember that racism, white supremacy is a global phenomenon, and it has to be defeated on a global scale. I would just say that. It's called having a strategy. The difference between knowing what to do with what you get when you get it. Yes. They open shops in our neighborhoods as we're denied it. Yep, because they get the assistance and all that stuff. And then we go shop at the shops. And then even if we're disrespected at the shops, we still go back. They're also easily influenced by Nazi bots posing as Black people. It's really pathetic. Do better. Oh, okay. Well, tell us how you really feel, Thomas. And you're so easily influenced by whatever's going on that you decide to comment. So there we go. Not America the land, but America the system. Gotcha. Well, yeah. Well, system white supremacy. Gotcha. Read previous point before the one you read. Hold up. What was the previous one? Do I see the previous one? don't see the previous one. That again, I don't see your previous one before that one. I don't know. I don't see the previous one before that one. I don't know what happened. Scientifically studied in terms of the lottery that shows globally most people who win the lotto or any jackpot lose it and spend it in less than 5 years. Yeah, because people don't know what to do with money. We actually don't have any neighborhoods. I don't know why we keep saying our neighborhoods. We're supposed to have neighborhoods, but we don't. Yeah, because we're so used to using the terms. That's why. That's just the terms that we've been conditioned to use. But we know. Wrong road to stay on. This cycle must end to begin on the fresh path. There we go. Show me a block of street with just all black family, and every last one of them own their home in the black. Now, I do see those. I do see those neighborhoods. I'm in the South, so down here, you will ride through a neighborhood that you think is white, and then everybody in that whole neighborhood is black, and the neighborhood is immaculate. So I'm not saying it's a whole lot of them, but they do have them throughout the country, and I know we do have some down here in Florida. So I've driven. We have some here in this city. Like I've literally been in some neighborhoods here in Tallahassee where I thought it was all white people, and it wasn't. Like not one of them people was white. So we had the entire time before the flooding burnt them down. Poor neighborhoods are what's left. Don't dismiss our presence wherever we are in large number. Yeah, in our past, but we have to be able to recreate that. And the thing is, I get what you're saying, and I love what you're saying, and I'm down with what you're saying, but we have to build off of that. And the problem now is we haven't built off of that. We're still living off of that instead of building off of that. I'm with you, but we need to build off of that. We need to recreate for ourselves. And I think now we may have a fear of recreating for ourselves. There's a theory that the mark of the beast is a metaphor for the money of an evil kingdom. I don't know. It may be. I ain't gonna act like I know. I'm not even gonna act like I know. I ain't even finna talk on that like I know. I have no idea. So Michael Jordan, Beyonce, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, that affirmative action and DEI. I know they succeeded without. Right, but no. Okay. Right. But I don't know. Imagine getting thrown out of another country the way the U.S. and the turncoat and throws people out, and other countries hate the U.S. so they don't have a problem throwing. Hey, they would throw Americans out real quick. Stop being simple. You know we're black. You know where black neighborhoods are. The Boogie Monsters, mark of the beast. I live in one. He tripping. The greed and places excuse the spell. Oh, please excuse the spelling. You good? Can't network, build, teach, and hustle, etc. You're right. Yeah, black neighborhoods, immaculate black neighborhoods do exist. They do it. We need more, but they do exist. And like I say, but think about even how I describe what I said. Like that's how messed up our mindsets are. Like when it comes to black ownership and black things like that, and black beauty. Like I'm in all black neighborhoods, and I don't even believe I'm in all black neighborhoods. Like that's the conditioning that we got. Like, and everybody come out the door, I'm like, oh, these people black, and I'm so excited. But my mind, before that, my mind state wouldn't even let me like really conceive of an all black neighborhood until you see it. So got to get better with that. So all right, this is let's get to Dr. Claude Anderson's second video, and this is Blacks Must Learn to Empower Their Resources. You know what I'm talking about? We talk about the problem, let's talk about some solutions. Let's learn to empower our resources, use what we got. The Democrats have to have someone to vote for them, right, and that's where the immigrants are coming in. Business and banking, there are a lot of talented and successful people, but none of them had government jobs and rely on programs. People need to refocus. The argument isn't that government jobs and government spending and stuff like was for everybody, but there are some that use it. Of course, There are people who've been successful without it. There are people who've been successful with it, all these different things. That's not the argument. Like the goalposts keep changing though. All right, so right, yeah. So there's no black only American. What? Wake up from this cut. I swear some of y'all just get up and just be typing with y'all eyes closed. I think y'all listen with y'all ears closed and y'all type with y'all eyes closed. I don't know. T-Wo, what's going on? Aren't black celebrities chosen by the white-owned show business industry to be successful? I believe that. T-Wo, I believe that. Yeah. Yep. So, Dr. Claude Anderson, once again, blacks must learn to empower their resources. Let's get it. Please hit that like button. And remember, it's okay to disagree and let's have back and forth and debate as long as it's respectful. Be respectful about it because let's learn. We're here to learn, right? We're here to learn. We're here to grow. And I don't mind being wrong.
All we got are neighborhoods. A neighborhood is totally, absolutely useless. That is a total waste of time. All we got in America are black neighborhoods. I can get in the car right now and drive around and find your neighborhoods. A neighborhood is like a bucket with holes in it. You pour water, it runs out. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure.
I don't know, Denise.
That can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax spaces for your own people. You have not got one black neighborhood in America that can provide jobs, products, and services and goods to take care of themselves.
Nah, he's right in that. We have neighborhoods where black people live in, but do we produce anything for ourselves in these neighborhoods? Overwhelmingly, no. Now, there may be some country neighborhoods in country places in America, and some places there might be few, but for the most part, I would say for 99.9%, no, we do not produce anything. We do not produce anything in these neighborhoods. We live in these neighborhoods. We pay for everything in these neighborhoods, but we don't produce anything in these neighborhoods. And so that's even a mindset shift from just living in the neighborhood to cooperating with the people in the neighborhood to produce things for yourselves. That's a mindset shift. That goes to how you empower yourselves.
And you say they're talking about terrorism coming to America. They're going to wipe you out. The immigrants going to wipe you out. First of all, when the terrorists come, they're going to shut you down. All they got to do is drop blue-blooded plague in here or some anthrax. You'll never
there you
get
go,
out.
Nemesis.
You don't own any drug stores. You don't own any food stores. You own nothing. You cannot feed yourself. You don't have any gas stations. You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots.
I agree with you together.
Take care of you in Chicago. And all these black
we need to get
TV
together
running around
and
all day
talk about
long,
them
chasing
systems
balls,
that you be
football,
talking about.
basketball, tennis ball, golf balls, dancing and singing, pretending they're having a ball, telling jokes. And you should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete. You don't own it in this city. You haven't got anything in this city. And just as happy as a sissy in a CC camp. And so what we got,
or when those are appealing to what black Americans need to do, or black Americans could just do it as well. Just do it. And when black Americans are leading the way, follow them and support them. I hear you, Margaret, but I do have to give a little pushback because when black Americans do lead the way, when grassroots black Americans do lead the way, because even with this with Dr. Claude Anderson led the way and nobody followed. That's why we're here where we are today. I hear you, but the pushback is that comments like that don't help, to be honest, right? Because the thing is, hey, well, we're not going to do anything until you do anything. Well, who's going to do something? But when black Americans do lead the way and they're not famous, nobody follows. I'm just saying. Together we stand. Please email me, my brother. I think I'm typing. Yeah, on the shoulders one at gmail.com. Email me, my brother. I just dropped my email in the comments. But that's all I'm saying. It's like, I hear you. And I don't totally disagree, but what I am saying is when black people do lead, especially grassroots black people, non-famous black people, regular everyday black people, when black people do lead, black Americans don't follow. And when black people give blueprints, i.e. Dr. Claude Anderson, black people don't follow. I will say that.
Do that, and things that are going to come after you, wipe you out if you don't have this. There are about 4 basic things you got to watch out for. One is going to be social integration. That's going to knock our brains out. It's already knocked most of it out already. The second thing is immigration. These immigrants are coming here. They're going to clean your tubes. They're clean. The immigrants are coming here, not coming here to be your friend, to get along with you. They're coming here to displace you, to get ahead of you, to get over you.
I hear you better.
That's why right now the Hispanics are saying that black folk are through in this country.
FBA Judah.
Had your day.
Oh, no.
I don't know what they're talking about. We haven't had it, but they what they think you've had your day. And because they're in control of confirmative action. Everybody's trying to create them. Watch all your campaigns. They only talk about getting the Hispanic vote. They don't want your vote. Because you're not playing the game to win.
Right.
You're not playing politics the way I told you to play politics, by looking to get benefits. You're not playing it to win. And we're going to get to that in a minute on how you learn how to play to win in Powernomics. So what we'll say that these immigrants coming here, they're taking your lunch and eating it while you run around trying to get along with them. They are not going to march on your behalf.
Thank you. But listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he just said. They come here to take your lunch. This is old. This footage is old. This looked like late 90s, early 2000s. He was telling us that the immigrants are going to come in and take your lunch. And he didn't specify white immigrants, Asian immigrants, black immigrants. He didn't specify. He said immigrants across the board. Everybody who is not us, who are not from here, they're looking to get an advantage when they get here. They're looking to get the resources. Remember, all groups of people are trying to conquer. Don't let people fool you. All groups of people are trying to conquer. Wealth, land, power, resources, what all groups of people are after. That's how humans have always existed. That's how humans will always exist. What have we learned? Nothing. And that's the problem. We got to open our damn eyes up. Listen to what he's saying. They're here to eat your lunch. He ain't playing around. And here we are trying to be friendly with everybody. I saw a video the other day. I saw a video of FAMU students, two black FAMU students who were supported by a whole bunch of other FAMU students who were making a video speaking out against ICE rounding up illegal immigrants on FAMU's campus. And I'm going to save that video. I'm going to save that video. So when years pass, when they're complaining about FAMU being mostly non-black, I'm going to drop that video on them. I'm going to save that video of those young girls, those people on FAMU campus, trying to say that they don't want ICE to round up illegal immigrants. They're not rounding up immigrants. They're rounding up illegal immigrants. So when the majority of the population of FAMU is non-black and people are complaining about it, I'm just drop the video on them. Remember this? Remember this? Because we don't know how to play the game. Right? Okay, early 90s. No one listened. And that's the thing, like, once again, like we can't continue to call for somebody to take the lead, and then when people take the lead, nobody follow them because they're not famous enough.
So go to the next slide for me, please. I want to get through these few slides real quickly. Like then I got to get to the real stuff.
You're right, Renee.
I know you're getting tired. Just let me stay with you a little bit longer.
They
now,
took
this is the problem
everything,
we ran
little young
into
baby
with social integration, but they should have been desegregation. See, back in the old days, in the 50s, what you were suffering from was this throughout history, where whites were on top and was superior, blacks were on the bottom and inferior. They had a line, a barrier called the racial line, okay, the color line, some of them call it. And so blacks on the bottom doing slavery and Jim Crow segregation. Now today, this is what you got. Now you went up today, you got whites still on top, but the blacks are still at the bottom, but all they did was a slanted line a little bit. So that some of those blacks on the far corner over there, where it looks like it's high, those are the ones that are making the big money running with a ball. And playing and got their own TV shows. They still don't know they're still underneath the line. And on the far side is that what I want you all to do under Powernomics is that we're going to take that line, instead of having it like this, we're going to socially engineer it and turn it what? Straight up and down. So we can go straight up and do everything vertical. Next slide for me, please. Now, back during slavery and Jim Crow segregation, we did have we had ethnic communities already. We had them in 63rd and Cottage Grove used to be a fabulous place for black folk. 31st and 35th and on that area was a fabulous place for black folk. We had Harlem, we had Buttermilk Bottom, we had Sweet Albany down in Atlanta, Georgia. We had all of.
Nah, you're right, Battle Genja.
But what happened?
You're right.
Was that,
all y'all right.
The uniform.
Life is precious. You right. Everybody.
We had the core black community.
You right. Nemesis, you right.
We didn't have those
Everybody
resources.
right.
At the bottom down here, we didn't have them resources because they didn't give you anything when they put you out of slavery or shot you out of slavery. They didn't give you anything. You had no resources. They didn't want you to have resources. So what we're proposing then is that, see, we're scattered over here. We're scattered, still didn't have the resources. Go up here now, what we're going to do at the top is go back and build our core black communities again. And I want this area in Chicago, with you all, with this being the center of y'all's activity, to be able to have a core community, a core black community here, where you all can come in and park your cars every day. Don't worry about living in the suburbs of Chicago. That's a waste of time, because those big riots come, these big trouble come, these terrorists, everybody knows where you live out there bragging about you in the suburb. Well, I'm the only one who lives out here by myself. Yeah, you're gonna work your head and live out there by yourself. You better try to come back and wrap yourself in some black folk and build your own black community. That's why I can go across America and I can come in, just left California. I can come out there and I can see, I got Koreatown, Chinatown, Japantown, Little Saigons. I can go down to Florida and get Little Havana, Little Hialeah. I can go up to Italy and get Little Italy. I can find Germantown, Poletown, Hocketown, Corktown, Russiantown, and Greek towns. I can't find a damn black town. You're so busy trying to integrate, you have nothing left. As I told Dorothy this morning, you cannot make black coffee better by integrating cream into it. It doesn't get any stronger.
Hey.
You weaken it. If you think integrating something into something, making it strong, go out right now and drop sugar into your gas tank, see if we can make it any stronger. You got to work to keep your people unified so you can play as a team. I told you, God sent you here as a team player. And whether you like it or not, God has arbitrarily assigned you to a skin color team. He doesn't care whether or not you don't like it.
Yeah, no white time, because it's a white country, white continent. But listen to what he's saying. Listen to what I don't
want to be black. That's tough. You're here now.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, and we're talking about the term black, and we're talking about the term black, how we're using it for us, because we know overall, like in the racial scheme, black, if you're within the diaspora, you're on team black. But even talking about black in the scheme of black Americans here, us us using the term foundational Black American is putting a name on the team. Our team has a name that we give. We finally given our team in America here a name. So, but we're still not operating as a team. We have a name, but we're not operating as a team. So we're like the little giants. Like the Black America is like the little giants. Like before Junior and the girls start playing good on the team. Right? Everybody just doing their own thing. People are scared, all these different things. You gotta understand the game. We don't play the game right. And whether you want to be on the team or not, you on the team. Hey, we got Claude Anderson to do the math. Whites now have an all named whites now have an AI named Claude to do their thinking, etc. Look at the coincidence. Hey. Our path is simple. We either control the economy or we control our own. It's impossible without system. Everything else is distraction. We should be growing as we speak. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You speak perfect English. English is a white language. Most of the successful people in the world speak English regardless of the race or nationality. Use it to your advantage. Believe in yourself. Yeah. Whatever language you got to hold to, use it to your advantage. I'm shaking my head. They all know the history of the enslavement of those Black Americans as immigrants. They're just plain stupid. Like when they say we know speak English, they understand very well. You already know it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with FBA getting their house in order. It's the FBA house. So don't complain that Team White isn't building the damn house. Yep. I'm not screwed if I say that, then you are. Never say that. English is a language which causes conflict literally within its structure. Is there a white town in Africa? No, it's not a white town in Africa. White people, there may be some, but remember, white people control the economies. White people control. When you have control in these areas, you don't have to have a town. You have control, but there are. I do remember seeing, man, like Lil Young Baby Thug is like we're saying South Africa. I do remember seeing like at least one town that was predominantly white. But remember, you don't have to be the numerical minority. I mean, you don't have to be the numerical majority if you control the resources. And that's the game that white people have used. Remember, white people are not the numerical majority on the planet, but the system of white supremacy controls everything. When you learn how to have power and control, you don't have to be the numerical majority.
Let me have the next slide, please. I got to move a little fast before y'all get mad and leave me. Okay. But what I want y'all to understand is that everything is vertical. Always go vertical. Always go vertical. Never go horizontal. Never in anything. Never go horizontal in a race-based society. And see now, look, the difference down here is that back during the old days, doing social integration, that's horizontal. We kept going back and forth from the back of the bus to the front of the bus, from the black water fountain to the white water fountain, and moving from the black ghetto to the suburbs. Those are horizontal moves. It didn't elevate you, make you a better or more powerful person because you moved to the suburbs.
Right.
And see, only a few blacks trickle up on the old horizontal system. So you start at the bottom over there and go straight up. Go to the top. Why won't you go to the top? Because that's where all the wealth and power is located. The wealth and power is at the top, not at the top of the T. When you get to the top, then you go horizontal. That's like when you build a business. You build your business straight up. When you get to the top, and you got your own neighborhood built well with black businesses in it. You got this, and this area's got a lot of prosperous businesses. Then you spread out and go get somebody else's neighborhood. When you get to the top, you go take other people's neighborhoods away from them. Mm-hmm. But don't do that until you capture and control your own.
But see, it's the game. It's the game. Like he's talking, you either gonna get somebody's neighborhood or they gonna get your neighborhood. You gonna protect yours, they gonna protect. Like, it's the game. Those who are in power, those who have the means, those who have the resources, take from others. And you have to be able to protect yours. You have to make it happen for yourselves, black folk. This is a team sport. Stop playing this like an individual. Individualism would not get us anywhere. It would get nothing, but our stuff will continue to get taken as long as we operate as individuals.
Because if you don't have a community, you cannot have a successful business.
Right.
Without a community, you don't have one thing that's very important. You don't have a market. No community, no market.
That's your ass.
You go into business, you're going to go out of business within about a 2-year time period. Nobody's going to drive all over Chicago trying to find your damn store.
Right. You got to put it in
the neighborhood. But if you put all your stores in one place and all your business where I can go park my car.
But when they build those businesses in our communities, we have to support it. The same way we support the Chinese spots, the same way we support the Arab spots, the same way we support the Indian spots, the same way we support the white spots. All of that, we have to support it, and support it the same way we support those other ones without all of the grievances. And then the black businesses, like we talked about on our live on Thursday, black businesses, you got to bring your A game.
I can get out and park my car, I can walk and find a barbershop, a cleaners, a movie theater, a drugstore, a grocery store, a restaurant, a hotel. Then you got businesses. Change the next one for me.
Oh yeah, you do. Life is precious.
So, and then once you build these communities, you get functional communities at the bottom, which means they become functional. What I mean by function, you can take care of yourselves, control the schools and everything else in there. Then you get, and people say, well, Doctor, I can't work with these black folks you call a team because I don't trust them. You can never have trust with another black person unless you have a community. And see, back in the old days before social integration came, black folk had trust.
Yes, it is. You got to be ready for it. You got to think 10 steps ahead.
A black person could leave home down in the old days when we had segregation and say, Miss Jones, I'm going downtown. Would you watch the house and watch the kids? I'll be back in a little while. You left your front door open, your back door open, your windows up at night. Nobody broke in when you have a community, you know and respect and appreciate each other. You're a function. You don't mistreat each other when you function as a community. Nobody, my mother could leave all day long. We ran out and played all day long. We could go a mile from the house playing with other kids. Nobody kidnapped us, raped and robbed us, or sold in the house while we were gone because we all knew each other. You don't know each other anymore since you've integrated.
But on my sense, you got to remember, they can afford to be individualistic because the group has conquered. The group is in power. White people as a group are in power. So when white people as a group are in power, they can work as individuals. Individual power comes from group power. If we're talking about white America, the system of white supremacy, all these things that are in place, now people can operate as individuals. You can't operate as individuals and try to build group power. You can operate as individuals when you already have group power. But you can't build group power operating as individuals. You got to be able to look at it like that. And let me see. All right, let's keep going.
I'll bet you right now, most of you know who your next damn neighbor is. You don't see them anymore. You got to start getting, and once you build your community and you start trusting each other, then you can get cooperation. You start cooperating and pooling your money, pooling your resources, pulling your talents, pulling your brains together to be a competitive group. And then you can get accountability. You can hold some of these water leg politicians accountable. Next one for me, please.
And little young baby thug. That's
what we're gonna do now is show you how this whole game works.
That's not the Amos Wilson quote. Individual power comes from group power.
What I want you all to do is start at the bottom. Once you start building these communities, understand this: everything is vertical. The first thing you can do to empower yourselves, to enrich yourselves in our capitalist society, you must have a first floor. Your first floor is your economy.
You're applying for tech jobs and every listing says SQL required. Want to accelerate your technology career?
The first thing you do is build a business community here in Chicago, or any place in the United States. Build a business community that can provide jobs and money, income, and products and services. You spend and you build wealth because you can redistribute
they will never replace
quicker owning a business than you can.
Well, we are doing a good job of allowing people to replace us.
Town right here with the belle of Blues Town, Dorothy Tillman. Build you an economy where you can spend your money with your own people and practice group economics. Group economics means your money must bounce 8 to 12 times before it leaves your community. Okay. Hispanic money typically bounces 6 to 7 times. White money bounces 8 to 12 times. Arab and Asian money bounces 13 to 14 times. Jewish money bounces 18 times. Black money doesn't bounce once. Because as soon as you get paid, you take your posterior straight to somebody else's community and spin it. You're impoverishing yourselves by misspending your money. You're creating a balance of trade deficit. We are poor because we enrich everybody but ourselves. After I go around, I'm down in Houston, Texas, and people say, Dr. Anderson, let me take you out. See all these big, beautiful homes all the whites have? How do they get these things? Where do they get all this money for to build all these big, fine mansions? I say, it's easy. It's your money. You see, whites live off of 2 incomes. Hispanics live off of 2 incomes. Asians live off of 2 incomes. They live off of 100% of their money and 98% of yours. They live, so all these other groups that you're competing with live off of 198% of money. You live off of 2%. It cannot be done. But we keep trying to do the impossible. That's why we have not progressed, as I said when I started my speech, we have not progressed in 500 years. We're still stuck on the bottom because we do stuff that doesn't make any darn sense. And what I want you all to start doing under the power now, when we get this plan off, we're going to start next year. We got a very specific, broad plan all laid out where every black in America is going to be a participant except the Sambos and Samis. We don't want them. We don't want them. We're not going to invite them. We don't have a big tent attitude about we all got to be. No, I don't want to have no big tent attitude. I don't want half of them. Half of them need to go on and get out of here, go on to heaven or someplace, and leave the rest of us alone. Now, I tell you, don't waste your time trying to persuade them when you leave here. Well, you should understand the Powernomics movement and what we're going to be doing in starting about another year across America. We're going to build big business districts in all these big major urban areas where black folk live. And see, because what'll happen, let me give you a little how it works. It's like if you try to, don't mess around with the food too long. See, it's like walking down the street, you look up and see a crowd of people at the bottom of a big building. There's a big skyscraper building, 30 stores up here, somebody is talking about he's gonna jump. And the guy walks along and say, what's wrong? What y'all applauding for? He said, well, we just telling the guy on the roof, jump, 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 jump. He said, no, don't say that, don't do that, that's wrong. Every man's life is important. It's very important for that man to stay alive. He might have a family and kids and children. Let me go up there and talk to him for about 5 minutes, and I think I can talk him out of killing himself. So he goes up there, and the crowd just settles down. He goes up there on the roof and talks to the guy for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes up, the people on the ground start chatting again. Jump, 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 jump. And the guy said, no, be cool. Give me another 5 minutes. And so the crowd quiets down again, and after 5 minutes up, and then guess what, after the second 5 minutes up, they both jump. Show me, for instance, where Asians, Arabs, Hispanics, American Indians, and women and everybody else engaged. Show me where they're equal to black folk. When black people were the first people on earth, that makes them an exception. If you're the first people on earth, you don't have any equals to you. You were the first people in America.
I hear you,
Black
Albert.
people were the first people in America.
What's going on there?
Themselves the Native American Indians. Those are not the real people in America. Those people came here from Asia. They crossed the Bering Straits about 5,000 or 6,000 years ago. Black people come here, and the Folsom people came here 16,000 years ago from Africa. They were the first people here. That's why you got Folsom, Arizona, Folsom, Mexico. That's why you got Folsom, Colorado, and Folsom, California. The Folsom people, you got artifacts and digs there from souvenirs and tools and instruments from Africa. The oldest people on this continent were the Folsom people, were black people from Africa. Now, how are you going to say somebody else, how do they get to be the native people? You are the native people of America. You're the native people of the world. Nobody's becoming ahead of you.
Yeah. Dr. Anderson is not saying that it's racism that people are producing. He's talking about the system, the structure, white supremacy, everything that's around that, because he's advocating for us to produce. If you're listening to what he's saying, he's advocating for us to produce. He's not saying capitalism is racist. He's teaching us how to take advantage of capitalism. I think you might have missed something he was saying, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Fake DNA testing is real business. But look. We are where we are because of the decisions that we've made. We are where we are because of the mentality, the mindset that we have, the paradigm that we exist in. Rugged individual, I don't care what nobody says, rugged individualism will continue to destroy us. Rugged individualism has not helped us. It hasn't helped us as a collective. Maybe an individual, but not a collective. Yeah, more people are going to steal our history. More people are going to rewrite the history. Yeah, and decisions were made for us too. You're right. But more people are going to take from us if we don't protect what we have, if we don't grow what we have. I mean, the ball is in our corner. What is we going to do? What are we going to do? At this point, nobody is stopping us from practicing cooperative economics. Nobody's stopping us. Nobody's stopping us from, like, those black communities that we're talking about. Nobody's stopping those black communities from producing something for themselves and others and connecting with other black communities. No, nobody's stopping it. Our scholars gave us the resources. They gave us the information. Oh, and that video is almost over. So the link to the full video is in the description. But nobody's stopping us from doing it. It's the mindset. It's like what Battle Genja keeps saying and what others keep saying. We got to get past the mindset. Once we get past the mindset, we can do something different. Community is important. Collective movement is important.
So how can they be equal to you? You're the only people that came to this country that were enslaved. Nobody else came here and enslaved but you. You're the only people that are denied the right to vote. You're the only people that are classified as 3/5 of a human being. You're the only people that were classified as special property. You're the only people that the entire Constitution was framed on. You're the only people that holds an entire civil war was fought over you. And more importantly, you are the only and the most patriotic people in America. Nobody in this country, I hear all the people on these Rush Limbaugh types and the Hannitys and the O'Reillys always talking about black folk for this and black folk for that, about patriotism. Nobody in this country is more patriotic than you are. You tell them this, that Dr. Anderson told you this. You are the only people in this country. No Asian, no Arab, no Hispanic, no American Indians, anyone else. You're the only people that have fought in every war this country's ever been in. And whose mother country has never been against this country. Every other racial or ethnic extraction in this country, their mother country has fought this country, or their native nationality has been against America, except black folk. You're the only people. You're the most patriotic people in this country. And you walk on sacred ground. Quit letting people make you convinced that somehow that you are the guest. What they've done is taken the immigration thing and flipped it upside down, where immigrants now think that they are the special people and you're the guest. You got people coming in now, people coming in from Italy and Ireland because the O'Reillys and all those Rush Limbaughs, because their great grandparents came here from a European country. They are guests. Immigrants are guests.
Yep.
You're not the guest. You got to tell them that you walk on sacred ground, paid for by the blood, the sweat, the tears, the suffering. that they paid for. They paid for, and all the black janitors and cooks and maids and butlers and waiters and cotton pickers. You are sacred people and special people. Don't let nobody try to put you down by talking about you're a guest in America. Hell, everybody else here is a guest. You are them people. They start to, an immigrant is a guest. They start bragging about their immigration status. You say, we are the only non-immigrants in America are black people. You're the only non-immigrants. They talking about this is an immigrant nation. This is an immigrant nation. No, it's not. It's for you whites and the Asians and you Arabs, but it's not for black folk. Black folk are not immigrants. An immigrant is a person who involuntarily migrates from one place into the next and stays and establishes something. Black folk are the oldest people in the land. You're the only non-guests in the land. And they start to hear people talking about, well, what Dr. Anderson, these black folk, they're not happy. They go back to Africa. No, no, no. You follow the rules. Those who came last leave first.
I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna stop it right there and it's almost done. Omar Simpson, just a question. Are you a conservative? Are you a conservative? Now, you said I have to study Walter Williams more, but I'm familiar with Thomas Sowell. I don't rock with Thomas Sowell. And Coleman Hughes, I'm familiar with him. I don't rock with his philosophies and his ideologies for black people. Because my thing is, so when you say nationalists, they are nationalists. You mean like white nationalists? Or you mean like black nationalists or white nationalists? Can you say that they don't focus on race? So they focus on what then? Empowering white people? Because I mean, what we're talking about with Dr. Claude Anderson is focused on black people empowering black people. Because my thing is, show me the white economist who focuses on empowering the economy or the economics of black people. Show me the white equivalent of Thomas Sowell. Show me the white equivalent of Coleman Hughes. Show me the white equivalent of Walter Williams, whose focus as a nationalist is to make sure that the economics of the black community is improved. Because we have so-called nationalists who are not focused on black people. They're not focused on black people. Black people are not better because of the plans of Thomas Sowell. Now, granted, in the same lanes, black people are not. If Thomas Sowell put something out, black people are not going to follow it. But the information Thomas Sowell put out was not created to empower black people. It was created to empower black individuals within the system of white supremacy to elevate themselves within this white system. Thomas Sowell and Coleman Hughes and people like that. Once again, I have to study Walter Williams more, but they're not concerned with. You're right. They're not concerned with black people. They're concerned with America. But there's nobody in white America who's concerned with black people's economics or making sure other groups of people have the economics that they need. They focus on themselves. And that's like the flaw in the things and the ideologies and the thinkings of Thomas Sowell and Coleman Hughes. And they're the ones who will be considered the Sambos and the bootlicks and the turncoats and stuff like that. They're the ones that are on the conservative side who are like, we need to follow these conservative things. No, don't follow what the Democrats tell you. Don't follow what the conservatives tell you. We need to follow something else for ourselves. But at the same time, I'm not listening to economists who are more so on the individualistic side and the so-called nationalistic side, which will help empower the system of white supremacy rather than empower black people. That's my view on no. I don't rock with Thomas Sowell. I'm familiar with Thomas Sowell. I'm familiar with Coleman Hughes. I don't rock with them. We've did Friday breakdowns, breaking down their ideologies and their talking points and stuff. I don't think what they have works for us, will work for us, can work for us. It wasn't designed to work for us. It was designed for an individualistic basis for a black person as an individual working within the system of white supremacy. It wasn't designed for black people to empower black people. Because remember, there are no other groups there are no groups in the United States who are concentrating on empowering the U.S. They're focused on empowering themselves. That's a fallacy. Say they're focused on U.S. as an environment to do business and the advantages of the U.S. dollar and American trade deals. Well, that's exactly what Dr. Anderson was talking about. But he's talking about it from the standpoint of doing it to empower yourselves as a group, because that's what everybody does. Literally everybody does that. There's not the only group of people who operate within the economic system to not empower themselves as a specific group is Black Americans. There's no other group of people in America who does that. Not one. Name me the group of people who operate within the economic system to make sure that the economy empowers everybody rather than themselves. That's not how stuff works. Every group of people is trying to take advantage of the US dollar. Every group. And it causes harms to the other groups who are the faces of it, but white people benefit from it. White people are not benefiting from government aid. White people are not hurting from government aid. White people are benefiting from government aid. They're benefiting from the bailouts. They're benefiting from the DEI and all those things. They're benefiting from it. They are, like we said earlier, the white people are benefiting from it. The Black people aren't. The people who are the face of it aren't. And remember, like I said earlier, somehow, some way, DEI and affirmative action don't work well for the brown people, for the Black people, but it works well for the other people. Somehow government aid seems to empower other people, but it don't empower us. But name me the white economist, the Asian economist, the Hispanic economist, the Indian economist, all those. Name me the economists of these specific groups who focuses on making sure the economy is good for other groups rather than focusing on themselves. That's all I'm saying. Dr. Claude Anderson is doing the right thing. He's making sure that Black people can empower ourselves. Why are we worrying about other groups of people who are not worrying about us? That don't make sense. Once again, that's how we get to having Selma hijacked. That's how we get to being the way we are. That's how we get to not being able to control or own anything in America. I appreciate you, son. I love you too. I appreciate it. That's how we get to that point. Please send that to me. Tommy, man, I'm not saying Thomas Sowell is not intelligent, but his intelligence is used to empower Black people on an individual level within the system of white supremacy, within the white world. It's not meant to empower Black people as a whole. Thomas Sowell's whole thing is to make white people feel good. Him and what's the Larry Elder, or what him and the other dude too. Coleman Hughes is just a new installment of that. And yeah, and Umar is a great intelligent scammer. But that's all I'm saying. If you don't learn how to focus on you, you're gonna be screwed because ain't nobody else focusing on you. It doesn't make sense to focus on things that don't help you, groups of people that don't help you. And the Somalis say, hey, see that Black America, matter of fact, not just the Somalis, all other groups of immigrants will see us as low-hanging fruit and they pick it. So when we gonna get our stuff together, Black folk? When we gonna get our stuff together? Ernest Parker, what's going on? What's the organization? I don't know the organization. I can't remember. Well, actually, it's in the. I put a link in the description of an article that I was reading. They got more of the information. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's some. Well, actually, I got it right here. It's the organization said the Rainbow Push Coalition, the Somali American Coalition, whatever COPAL is. Ada Leads and the Immigrant Defense Network. Those are the organizations that will helping with this march on Selma. So yeah. Thank you, Renee. Thank you. Look, man, we just gotta be real about it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to agree on everything, but just put some sense to what we're talking about. And really look at outcomes for ourselves. Like as Black people, like other people don't have to talk about race the same way we talk about it, but they talk about group interest. Trust me, they do. All other people focus on their own group interest. If you're not focusing on your group interests, you're gonna be losing as a group. Gorilla Pit, what's going on? Hey man, so that's the show for today. That's the show for today. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. Remember, we have a fundraiser going on, and the fundraiser will help to raise money for Black businesses. And so if you check out the Black Biz Tally is Changing Lives video, the fundraiser is attached to that. And if you also check out my The Truth About Black Spending Power video, if you check that video out, that is also the fundraiser. And I am going to throw those links in the description after I get off of here. But you know, I have a good time hanging out with y'all. And I will actually see y'all tomorrow. What's up, Kiki? How you doing? What's going on, Kiki? Hey, I'm going live tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'll be here live tomorrow at 1 p.m. I am we're looking at the case of a young man, Mercutio Southall Jr., being accused of arson, and he's being seen as a political prisoner. And so I got some information about that I'm gonna drop on y'all tomorrow. We're gonna talk about that. So tomorrow at 1 p.m., make sure y'all tune in. Face the Nation. CNG, what's going on? Kiki, you already know you good over here though, Kiki. You already know. So I'm gonna see y'all later because I got to go hit in the gym and do some other things and get this thing going on. And hey, Kiki, you just heading up the replay game. You just heading up the replay game. That's it. But just letting you know, if you're free tomorrow around 1 p.m., I'm going live. If not, then you already know you the president of the replay game. It's all good. So Face the Nation, CNG is asking how y'all can connect. Make sure y'all drop y'all emails in the chat and everything. So yes, sir. Salute to you all. I love you all, and I catch y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m. as we look into what's going on with brother Mercutio Southall. So with that being said, I love y'all. Peace out. Have a great Saturday.